Everything you lost will be replaced with better, though the ache in your chest may make you doubt that promise. Life has a way of carrying us through seasons where we feel stripped bare, where we stand in the ashes of what once was, trembling, asking why the fire consumed everything we thought we could not live without. In those moments of emptiness, it is natural to believe that nothing good can rise again. But I tell you, there is a sacred rhythm in life, an unshakable truth, written by the hand of God Himself, and it declares that what you have lost is not the end of you. It is only the clearing of the field, preparing the soil for greater harvests you could not yet imagine. There are days when grief comes like a storm, shaking your bones, leaving your heart heavy with the weight of yesterday's dreams that slipped through your fingers. You look around, and the people who once promised forever are gone. The opportunities you prayed for slipped away. The stability you clung to collapsed beneath your feet, and you wonder if you have been forgotten. But child, listen to me closely. You have not been forgotten. You are being prepared. You are being remade. You are being shaped into someone stronger, wiser, more compassionate, and more powerful than the person who once held tightly to what is now gone. Loss does not signify the end of your story. It is often the middle, where the greatest transformation takes place. I know you have wept in silence. I know you have whispered prayers in the dark, prayers that sounded more like broken sighs than words. I know there were nights when you pressed your pillow to your face, to hide the sound of your mourning. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still carrying a pulse of hope, even in the shadow of despair. That very breath, that heartbeat, is proof that life is not finished with you yet. You lost something, yes, but you did not lose yourself. And what you have left, the courage to rise again, the determination to believe again, the stubbornness to keep walking even when the road is steep, is more valuable than what slipped away. You see, when life takes something from you, it is not always punishment. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is direction. Sometimes it is redirection to something higher, brighter, and holier. You may think you lost love, but perhaps you were being saved from the shallow imitation of love that only bruised your spirit. You may think you lost a dream, but perhaps that dream was too small for the magnitude of the destiny planted in your soul. You may think you lost time, but perhaps time itself was teaching you patience, teaching you how to wait without bitterness, how to trust without seeing. Everything you lost was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to reveal you. Do not let your losses trick you into believing that life has been unfair to you. Life has been shaping you. Life has been carving out the parts of you that could not carry the blessing that is on its way. Every tear watered the soil of your future. Every goodbye carved space for the right people to enter. Every closed door forced you to keep walking until you found the one that opened into rooms you never dreamed you could enter. You thought the loss was the end of the chapter, but really it was the author lifting the pen, preparing to write something so luminous that the previous pages will pale in comparison. And I want you to remember this: you are not defined by what you lost. You are defined by how you rise. You are defined by the strength you gather when the winds blow against you, by the grace you show even when life seems unfair, by the love you continue to give when your heart aches with emptiness. The measure of your greatness is not how tightly you can cling to what you have, but how gracefully you can release what no longer serves you, and how courageously you can embrace the unknown that waits beyond the horizon. You may think you are empty-handed now, but look again. Look at the wisdom you carry, wisdom you did not have before the storm. Look at the resilience you wear like armor, resilience forged in nights of tears and mornings of trying again. Look at the compassion in your eyes, compassion born from knowing pain, and vowing never to let another suffer alone. Look at the courage in your step, courage that whispers, "I will not be defeated by this." That, my beloved, is the evidence that you have already been given more than you lost. Do not despise the season of loss, for it is the womb of new beginnings. Just as the seed must crack open before the flower blooms, just as the night must fall before the dawn breaks, just as the storm must rage before the sky clears, you too must endure the breaking, the silence, the shaking. But after the breaking comes the building, after the silence comes the song, after the shaking comes the steady ground beneath your feet, stronger than before. Everything you lost will be replaced with better, not only in what you will receive, but in who you are becoming. So lift your head, child of destiny. Straighten your shoulders. Wipe your tears. Do not keep rehearsing the losses of yesterday, for they were not meant to chain you, but to free you. Free you from illusions. Free you from attachments. Free you from cages you didn't even know you lived in. The life ahead of you is vast, wide, abundant, overflowing. You are walking toward fields of promise, rivers of provision, mountains of strength. And the moment you release your grip on the ashes, your hands will be free to receive the beauty waiting for you. And when it comes, and it will come, when the better flows into your life, it will not just fill the empty spaces, it will overflow. It will be pressed down, shaken together, running over, more than you asked for, more than you thought possible. It will remind you that the universe does not take without giving, that God does not close one chapter without opening another more glorious, that your story is not tragedy but triumph. Every loss was a seed, and every seed will bloom in its appointed time, and there will be moments when you look back on what was taken from you, moments when the memory stings like fresh salt on an old wound, and you will wonder if the ache will ever leave. But I tell you, even that ache is a holy sign. It is proof that your heart once dared to love, dared to dream, dared to believe in more. The ache does not mean you are broken beyond repair. It means you are alive, you are tender, you are still open to the possibility of beauty. And it is in that openness, that tender willingness to keep moving forward, that life finds the space to pour in blessings greater than you could have scripted for yourself. Everything you lost may feel irreplaceable now, but in time you will see that the loss carved room inside you for a better tomorrow. Think of the seasons. Think of the tree that stands bare in winter, stripped of its leaves, looking like nothing but a skeleton against the cold sky. To the untrained eye, that tree looks finished, as if life has left it behind. But the roots are alive beneath the soil, storing strength, preparing for the return of spring. The leaves that fell are not a sign of death, but of a cycle making space for renewal. So too with you. What fell away was not meant to remain forever. The roots of your soul are alive, storing strength, holding wisdom, preparing for the season when the blossoms will return. And when they do, they will be fuller, brighter, stronger than the leaves that were once lost. Do not curse the empty branches. Do not despise the silence of the soil. These are sacred seasons of preparation, though they feel like abandonment. And when the spring of your life blooms again, you will see why the winter had to come. You will see why certain things were taken, why certain people walked away, why certain doors shut. For without the loss, you would not be ready for the abundance. Without the stripping, you would not be humble enough to receive the greater. Without the breaking, you would not be whole enough to carry the blessing. The better that is coming is not just replacement, it is restoration, restoration beyond what your mind can comprehend. And I know sometimes it feels like life has been unkind, like the universe has singled you out to suffer. You see others thriving, laughing, dancing in their abundance, while you are walking barefoot through the ruins of your own dreams. But take heart. What looks like delay is not denial. What looks like failure is not final. What looks like absence is often a quiet preparation. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this season, even if it does not look like it. And when your time comes, and it will come, it will not matter how long you waited, because the blessing will be so rich, so overwhelming, so perfectly timed, that it will make sense of every tear, every waiting room, every silent night. Remember, the greatest masterpieces are not rushed. The strongest structures are not built overnight. The most precious jewels are not formed without pressure and time. So too is your life. It may feel slow, it may feel like loss is the only story written on your pages, but the author has not stopped writing. The author is still holding the pen, and the ink of your future is rich with color and light. You may not yet see the whole picture, but trust that each loss is a brushstroke, each tear a line of poetry, each closed door a part of the greater story that will make you rise to your feet one day and say, "Now I see why it had to be this way." And child, I tell you this with certainty, everything you lost will be replaced with better, because you yourself are being made better. That is the secret. The external blessing is only half the promise. The internal transformation is the greater miracle. The person you are becoming through loss is someone who can carry joy without arrogance, love without fear, abundance without pride, and wisdom without despair. You are being shaped into someone who will not crumble when life shakes again, someone who can comfort others with the same comfort you once needed, someone who can walk with dignity even in storms. That is the treasure no loss can take away. So hold on a little longer, trust a little deeper, believe a little harder. When your heart wants to give up, when your mind wants to surrender, when your body feels too tired to stand, whisper to yourself, "This is not the end, this is the in-between, this is the bridge, not the destination," and step forward, even if the step is small. Step forward with faith that the ground will meet your feet, that the light will meet your eyes, that the blessing will meet your hands. Life will not leave you empty. Life will not forget to return what was taken. Life will surprise you with joy when you least expect it, and it will be a joy so pure, it will make you weep in gratitude for the losses that once brought you so low. And when that day comes, remember the strength you carried in the wilderness. Do not forget the nights you thought would break you, but did not. Do not despise the valley, for it carved the strength that will allow you to climb the mountain. Every scar is a testimony, every ache a teacher, every loss a seed of better things. And one day you will hold the fruit of that harvest in your hands, and you will not only say, "It was worth it," you will say, "I would not trade it." Because you will see how the losses you thought destroyed you were actually the very chisels that carved your greatness, the very winds that lifted your wings, the very shadows that taught you how to appreciate the light. Do not mistake the temporary for the eternal. The people, possessions, and positions that slipped through your grasp were never meant to define you. You are bigger than the titles you lost, richer than the possessions that were taken, stronger than the relationships that left you. What defines you is not what walked away, but what remains within you, the courage, the wisdom, the love, the fire. That cannot be stolen, that cannot be replaced, that is eternal. And because of that, everything external can and will be restored, replaced, redeemed. But the soul you carry, the spirit within you, is the truest treasure of all, and it is untouched. So stand tall in your losses, wear them as evidence of survival. Hold your head high and say, "I may have lost much, but I am still here. I am still breathing. I am still believing." And that alone is a miracle, for many would have folded under the weight you carried. But you did not. You endured. You pressed on. And because of that endurance, better is not just a possibility, it is a certainty. The universe rewards resilience. God blesses perseverance. Life honors those who refuse to quit. So do not quit now. Do not lay down in the ashes. Rise, with the assurance that something better is already on its way to you. And know this, when better arrives, it will not sneak quietly. It will not creep in unnoticed. It will come like dawn breaking after a long night, flooding your life with light, so undeniable that you will feel reborn. It will come like laughter erupting after years of silence, like music after years of mourning. It will come, and it will be so clear, so radiant, so undeniably divine, that you will know without a doubt, this is what I was waiting for. This is why I had to lose what I lost. This is the better I was promised. So hold steady, beloved. Do not give up on the promise. Everything you lost will be replaced with better, not because life owes you, but because life grows you, and growth always leads to more, to deeper, to greater. Your story is not one of loss, but of transformation. Your ending is not despair, but glory. And if you can trust that truth even in the silence, even in the emptiness, even in the ache, you will live to see it fulfilled. And let me tell you, there will come a day, when the weight that sits so heavily on your chest will lift, when the tears that come uninvited will no longer sting, but will water the soil of remembrance with gratitude, instead of grief. One morning you will rise and realize that you are no longer haunted by the memory of what slipped through your fingers, but are instead filled with awe at what now rests in your hands. And you will understand then that the losses you thought would break you were not meant to bury you. They were meant to plant you. They placed you in the soil of transformation, where light and time and patience conspired to draw out of you a strength you never knew you carried. So many people live in the shadows of what they lost, replaying the scenes of departure, rehearsing the conversations that ended, grasping at the ghosts of opportunities gone. But you, child, must not live there. You must not allow yourself to be chained to what has already left you. There is no nourishment in yesterday's bread. There is no growth in yesterday's soil. You cannot become who you are meant to be, while clinging to what was never meant to remain. The doors that closed did so because beyond them lay only confinement. The relationships that ended did so because they could not hold the fullness of the love you were created to give. The opportunities that slipped away did so because your destiny demanded more than their limitations could offer. What left you was not punishment, it was pruning. And every pruning, though painful, makes way for greater fruit. And I know it is difficult to release. I know it is difficult to unclench your fists from what once felt like your lifeline, but trust me when I tell you that the release is where your freedom is born. The release is where your healing begins. The release is where your hands are made ready to receive what is greater, fuller and purer than what you lost. When you hold on to what has already died, you only carry the weight of decay. But when you let go, you carry only the space of possibility. And space is the very canvas where life paints its most brilliant works. There is something sacred about the way life restores. It does not simply give you back what you had in equal measure. No, it gives you back more. It multiplies. It overflows. It surprises you with beauty, far beyond what you thought you deserved. Life takes the ashes of your mourning and exchanges them for crowns of joy. Life takes the garments of heaviness and replaces them with robes of praise. Life takes the silent chambers of your heart and fills them with laughter that rings like bells across a valley. Life is generous, child. Life is abundant. Life knows how to restore what you thought was beyond repair. And yet restoration is not always instant. Sometimes it is slow. Sometimes it comes one tender piece at a time. Sometimes it takes years of walking faithfully in the dark before the dawn finally rises. But let me assure you, it rises. It always rises. Just as the sun has never failed to greet the horizon, so too will your better come. It may tarry, but it will not be denied. It may delay, but it will not be denied. And when it comes, you will look back on the nights of waiting and you will say, even in my darkest hour I was being carried. Do not think your tears were wasted. Do not think your prayers disappeared into an empty sky. Do not think your endurance went unnoticed. Every tear was collected, every prayer recorded, every moment of endurance marked, and all of it will be honored. You will reap in joy what you sowed in sorrow. You will gather in laughter what you planted in mourning. The time you thought was wasted will be redeemed in double portion. You will find that nothing you endured will go without reward. Life, in its wisdom, ensures that no pain is ever wasted. And when better comes, it will not merely return what you had, it will elevate you to a higher place. You will not be the same person receiving what you once lost. You will be stronger, deeper, more grateful. You will be a vessel made whole, not because nothing ever touched you, but because everything that touched you could not destroy you. That is the miracle. Not that you avoided loss, but that you survived it. Not that you never walked through fire, but that the fire could not consume you. Not that you never wept, but that your weeping did not wash away your will to rise. That is the true victory, and that is the soil from which your better will grow. You see, there are treasures hidden in the very places you thought were barren. The wilderness you despised will become the sanctuary where your strength was forged. The heartbreak you thought would crush you will become the lesson that shapes the way you love in freedom. The disappointments you thought would rob you of hope will become the stepping stones to a faith so unshakable, it will carry you through every storm yet to come. Do not despise your wilderness, for it has been the classroom of your becoming. Without it, you would not have learned to stand when everything around you urged you to fall. Without it, you would not have found your voice when silence pressed against your throat. Without it, you would not have known the depth of your own resilience. And it is that resilience that will carry you into the better that awaits. So when the temptation comes to dwell on what you lost, to replay the past as though clinging to it will bring it back, remind yourself of this: what is gone has already served its purpose. What is gone has already given you what it was meant to give. What is gone is not meant to define the rest of your days. The chapters of loss are not the whole book of your life. They are only passages, painful yet purposeful, meant to lead you to the glory of what comes next. Your story is still unfolding, and the next pages are waiting with words of restoration, joy, and renewal. And when you step into that new season, you will walk differently. You will carry yourself with a grace born of knowing how fragile life can be, and yet how strong the soul becomes in its fragility. You will speak with a wisdom born of having walked through pain and still choosing love. You will live with a gratitude born of understanding how easily everything can be stripped away, and how miraculous it is when life rebuilds what was once broken. That gratitude will make the smallest blessings shine like jewels in your eyes. That wisdom will allow you to guide others through their own storms. That grace will draw others to you, for they will see in you not perfection but perseverance, not flawlessness but faithfulness. Do not fear the future, child. Do not tremble at the thought of what you lost never being restored. For what is ahead of you is brighter than what is behind you. What is promised to you is richer than what was taken from you. What is waiting for you is better than what has left you. You are walking toward abundance. You are walking toward laughter. You are walking toward love that will not abandon, joy that will not fade, peace that will not be shaken. You are walking toward fulfillment beyond the shallow dreams you once clung to. You are walking toward the true, the lasting, the eternal. And so, take heart. Stand firm. Do not give up when the night feels long. Do not despair when the silence seems unending. Do not collapse when the burden feels heavy, for this night will pass. This silence will break. This burden will lift. And when it does, you will stand taller. You will walk stronger and you will shine brighter. You will be a testimony, not just to yourself but to everyone who witnesses your story. They will see that loss could not define you, that grief could not contain you, that despair could not drown you. They will see that you were carried through, lifted up, made whole. They will see the better that has replaced what was lost, and they will be inspired to believe that the same is possible for them. And in that moment, your journey will not only be about your own restoration, it will be about the restoration of others through you. Your voice will become a balm. Your story will become a light. Your life will become a testimony of what it means to rise from ashes, to walk out of shadows, to stand in the brilliance of a new dawn. And that, child, is the greatest gift of all, that the better you receive will not only heal you, but it will heal others too. So trust it, believe it, hold fast to it. Everything you lost will be replaced with better. And when it is, you will see that every loss was only a passage, every tear only a seed, every breaking only a preparation. You will see that you were never truly losing, you were only being led. Led to something greater, led to something brighter, led to something better. And in that better, you will find not only restoration, but the deepest joy of all, the joy of knowing that you survived, you endured, and you blossomed into everything you were meant to be. And when the road feels long and your strength feels thin, remember that the very act of walking is victory. Each step you take forward, no matter how small, declares to the world that you are not finished. You are not defined by what left you. You are not chained to the absence of what once was. You are alive, and in your aliveness is the seed of endless beginnings. Every breath is a promise that there is more ahead, more beauty to discover, more laughter to ring through your spirit, more love to fill your arms. And though you cannot see the fullness of it now, trust that your feet are being guided to places richer than your mind could have dared to dream. You are not wandering aimlessly, you are being led. Even when it feels like silence surrounds you, know that the silence itself is holy ground, where the unseen is being prepared. It is easy to believe in better when the sun is shining, when the doors swing wide, when love surrounds you, but the truest belief is forged in the valleys, in the hours when the shadows stretch long and the cold wind bites. The truest faith is born when everything tangible is stripped away, and still you whisper, something greater is coming. That whisper, fragile as it may feel, carries the power of mountains. That whisper is the spark that keeps your soul alive in the darkest of nights. That whisper is the thread that ties you to the promise of tomorrow. Do not underestimate the strength in your quiet belief, for it is that belief that will carry you through the storm and into the clearing, where better awaits. You may wonder why you had to lose so much, why the things you loved most slipped through your fingers like water. You may ask why your prayers for preservation were met with silence, why your heart was forced to break when all you wanted was to keep what you cherished. And though answers may not come in neat explanations, though the heavens may not part to tell you the reasons, know this: what you lost was never meant to define the wholeness of your destiny. What was taken was never meant to hold the weight of who you are becoming. Sometimes life must strip us of what we cling to, so that we can find what we were born for. Sometimes the doors must close so we will stop knocking where we don't belong. Sometimes the ground must shake so we will finally move from the place we've outgrown. Loss, painful as it is often the hand that gently but firmly pushes us toward what we were always meant to find. And in those moments of stripping, when you feel naked before the world, when you feel like nothing remains, remember that even then, you are clothed in resilience. You are wrapped in the invisible garment of survival, and that garment is finer than any you could have woven with your own hands. You may not see it in the mirror, but the world sees it in your eyes. They see the flame that refuses to go out, the dignity that remains even in the ashes, the courage that carries you forward when you could so easily surrender. That dignity, that flame, that courage, those are the marks of one who is destined for better. And better is not just waiting for you in the distance, it is already being woven into your present. Better is hidden in the strength you now carry. Better is tucked into the way you love, with more gentleness than before, because you know the cost of harshness. Better is blossoming in the patience you now embody, because you learned to wait when waiting was the only option. Better is etched into the wisdom in your voice, because you have lived enough to know that storms do not last forever. You are already living in the beginnings of better, even before the fullness of it arrives. Can you not see it? Can you not feel it? The tender shoots are already pushing through the soil of your loss. The newness is already pressing against the edges of your life. You are not as barren as you think. You are pregnant with promise. And when that promise breaks forth, you will not only be restored, you will be expanded. Life will not merely return you to where you once stood. It will place you in a wider place, on higher ground, with a deeper well of gratitude in your heart. What you lost will be replaced with better. Not only because better things will come, but because you yourself will be able to recognize, cherish and nurture them in ways you could not before. You will not take for granted the love that is faithful. You will not dismiss the opportunities that align with your purpose. You will not despise the days of small beginnings, because you will know how precious every step, every gift, every blessing truly is. Loss has given you the eyes to see, and those eyes will ensure that when better comes, you will not miss it. Do not rush this process. Do not demand that life replace what you lost on your timeline. Trust the unfolding, for it is precise. The delays are not denials, they are alignments. The pauses are not punishments, they are protections. The waiting is not wasted, it is working in your favor. Every moment of longing, every hour of emptiness, every season of silence is shaping the timing of your better, so that it will arrive not too soon, not too late, but at the exact moment you are ready to receive it. Trust that life knows what it is doing. Trust that the author of your story writes with more wisdom than your eyes can comprehend. Trust that even in the waiting, you are not forgotten. And one day, perhaps when you least expect it, you will awaken and realize that the season of mourning has passed. The tears that once came daily will have slowed. The ache that once hollowed your chest will feel lighter. The silence that once pressed against your ears will give way to the music of laughter. And in that awakening, you will realize that you have stepped into the better you were promised. It may not look like what you once imagined, it may not mirror the dreams you once clung to, but it will be richer, deeper, and truer than anything you could have written for yourself. You will see that life did not take without giving, that the universe did not leave you barren, that God did not abandon you. You will see that everything you lost was not the end, but the prelude to a greater beginning. And when you stand in that better, do not forget who you became along the way. Do not despise the scars, for they are proof that you